Hey guys, and thanks for joining me on another video. Well, recently I've been selling off some gear that I haven't been using to fund a new purchase, and here it is. Here's my new purchase. Now this is a Fractal Audio AX8 unit, and this is an amp modeler and effects unit, and for people who don't know, it's like the little brother of the AX2, the bigger rack mounted unit. And yeah, I've had it now for about 4 days. And I've been mucking around with it, so this is going to be a video on my 5 first impressions on the AX8. So my first observation about the AX8, having it for a couple of days, is potentially this is an incredibly time-saving unit for me. To run a YouTube channel when I want to record guitars, normally I've got to bring out my amplifier. I mic it up with 2 microphones, a Royer ribbon microphone and a Shure SM57. And from there, those go into preamps, and from the preamps, then I record it into a separate audio recorder. Then later when I go into the editing process, I've got to bring in those sound files, sync them with the camera files, and then when I've finished the mix, I've got to send it out to Logic for a little bit of mastering and tweaking. And it's actually a very long and elongated process. So potentially this AX8 is an incredible time saver for me to do this channel. So not only is this unit potentially going to save me a lot of time with my YouTube channel, 2 nights ago I was working with a friend of mine doing electronic music. He came around with some backing tracks, and I was able to quickly plug into his system and put down some tracks quickly and easily without having to mic up cabinets and wear headphones, and we were able to work really quickly. And this unit really helped with that. So I think it's going to be a really valuable songwriting tool as well as for my YouTube channel. So my next observation about the AX8 is that I really am probably going to sell a lot of my pedals and my pedal board because of this unit. It's got a fantastic multi-effects unit in it. So things like my overdrive, distortion, compression, reverb, I think they're all going to finish up being sold. And actually also recently I bought the Electro Harmonics Leslie speaker simulator pedal, and this one's got a rotary speaker simulator in it. So literally I'm going to pretty much wipe out my pedal board. There's probably a few specialist pedals that I'll still hang on to, but I can use those in the effects loop on this unit. But one of the really important things for me when I use this unit live is that whether I can use my acoustic guitar with it. And I've noticed there's a few presets there. Generally what I've done in a live situation is I have nice pickups in my guitar and I play through an LR Baggs preamp and then straight into the desk and so forth. So here's a little bit. I found a preset in here. I haven't tweaked it. Here's my acoustic guitar with the AX8 acoustic preset. Now, one of the most important things for me is that the unit has good, clean sounds to it that sound realistic like a good tube amp. And in particular, I'm particularly fond of my Vox AC30s, also deluxe reverbs, so that you have the ability to use those sounds. What I've found generally with these kind of units previously is that the high gain sounds, the overdriven sounds sound really good and authentic, but the cleans have been wanting a little bit. And my first impression of this unit is that the cleans in it are really good and very usable and give you a very kind of responsive feedback to your playing, which a good tube amp will give. So from that point of view, I'm really happy with the unit so far. So one of my observations from having the AX8 for a few days is that I've mentioned it to a few friends of mine that are very much traditionalists and love their beautiful tube amps, and they've tended to kind of look down their nose at it and just not be very interested in it. And I think that really needs to be revisited. I think I'm not suggesting people need to sell all their beautiful tube amps and just get a unit like this, but when we look at those tube amps, when we look at a Vox AC30 from the 60s with the blue speakers or a Blackface Deluxe Reverb, they were tools that were being used in the 60s, but they were also musicians that were using the best of the equipment that was around at the time. And they actually weren't using vintage gear, obviously. So I think when you look at it in that light, things like Axe 2 and this unit and a couple of other ones really need to be held in that regard. And I think really there's a tipping point now with amp simulation that it's got so good that now it's actually very difficult to tell the difference, and also the responsiveness now through the playing really does mirror that of a tube amp really well, and I think it needs to be taken seriously for that reason. So overall, I'm really blown away by the AX8. As I said, I've only had it for a couple of days now, and I've just been using the presets basically in it. But it really is a unit that's very versatile and valuable to me, and potentially can save me a lot of time with my YouTube channel, playing live and recording. So I'm really impressed with it. Maybe one little gripe I would have maybe is the usability of it. Obviously this is a pretty sophisticated piece of equipment, but I'm a generally pretty technical person. I'm a filmmaker by profession, and I have a lot of complicated and technical gear around me, and generally I can navigate my way through them with a limited amount of going through the manual, but I think this one really is pretty dense. Even going into the editing software that you can connect this up to your computer and do a lot of your editing, it still seems like it's going to take me a little while to get used to it. So I think usability wise, possibly could be a little bit user friendly. I don't have an Axe 2, so I don't come from any Fractal Audio products, so it's all new to me. The other thing that probably was a little bit disappointing, and this is getting pretty picky now, I bought the expression pedal with this, and this was a, in Australia, $2,500 combination, but Fractal didn't give me the lead for the expression pedal, so I've had to buy that on eBay. Also the USB lead to my computer, they didn't put that in the box as well, so you've got to buy your own one. Kind of when you're spending $2,500, I'd kind of expect that might have been in the box, but as I said, a couple of small grievances, but really I'm blown away by this product, and I'm really looking forward to getting into it more and more and more. So looking forward to hearing what you guys think about these things, whether you own any amp simulation units or this one or an Axe 2. Interested to know your comments, please leave them. I always love reading them, and I'll see you very soon on another video.